here. So again, welcome to Metaphysical Communion 9 and to our Halloween celebration. And we are live on Facebook and from Zoom. So hopefully you are receiving this on our Facebook channel here. And I'm just checking as we're going along to see if the connection is established. So far, I'm being told that it is streaming live and recording, on Facebook. So I'm just waiting for Facebook itself to give me the verification that everything is up and running 100% right. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful Halloween celebration. Cheers to all of you. And it's a party, so we're going to have a little drink, a little snack as we go along the way. And hopefully we'll do some readings for you and work with some divination systems also. I have the tarot out, I have my pendulum, I have my charms. So we can do a combination of things this evening to celebrate the occasion. And hopefully, let's see, I'm just waiting for word from Facebook to make sure that indeed, we are, live and speaking with you one-on-one. And so far, let's have a look. And I'm getting a little bit of no response from anywhere. So that's a little odd. But then again, it's Halloween and it's, technology and it's the computer. So odd is normal. And I'm just waiting for this to, to check in here. And so far, I don't know. Things seem to be off all of a sudden. Like I said, the unexpected. And I did tell you that expect the unexpected tonight. And we start immediately with that. The unexpected, which is expected. We just don't know in what way. So here we go. So let's see. I'm just waiting to see if things are kicking here. Let's see if I can get that up again. Well, I know I can see myself, and I know it says streaming live on Facebook. I'm just not getting Facebook here to tell me that indeed I am on with all of you. Let's see. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's coming up now. Apparently it is buffering, is from what I see here. I don't know what that means. Hopefully, this will catch up to that buffering. So I am making sense to all of you out there. But there's a buffering happening. Just waiting to see if this comes up. And indeed, when it does connect, I'll just cut this portion of things out, from the video, so it doesn't take up more time, and it really doesn't relate to anything to do with the actual program itself. It's just the usual complications of just getting connected. So you don't need to be seeing this later on video, and hopefully you're not seeing this live then, if that's the case. So we can remove that, from the program afterward. And let's see. Okay, they're having trouble playing the video. It says here. That's fascinating. Let me see if I can get on my page itself. Well, it says that I'm live, which is a good thing. I have 3. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now I see something popping. So I've been on for 5 minutes or so, and I think there's 2 other people besides me, here. If I could get a chat window to open up, that would be really, really helpful. Let's see. Okay, I see me. Now, my next concern is that you can all understand what I'm saying, and that there's good audio, about just tilting my head a bit to see if I'm making sure that I'm making sense to all of you, and that you can see me well. So little by little, things are connecting. That's a good thing. Okay. Let's see. Checking here. on the sidelines. Okay, I am live. Very good. I'm just hoping for a chat window to open up, which I don't see on the side here. So I would love to have verification from all of you to make sure that, oops, I can be understood. Let me try getting in through the cell phone again, which was having a difficult time somehow connecting. And still is for some reason. Because if one thing doesn't work on the computer, then the cell phone usually tells me. Because that usually doesn't work well. But tonight is another story. So for some reason, Facebook Live on the cell phone is not coming through. Happy Halloween. And happy Mercury retrograde, even though it's been over a week that it's been over, but it's been, something else. So I'm trying to check in with you guys through the various other methods. And for some reason, it's not coming through. So my cell phone, for some reason, is not allowing me to see anything about this program, which is one of the unusual things. As I said before, usually it does, check in very, very well with everything. So if something fails from the computer end, the cell phone, takes it up well. This time it's the opposite, it seems. So it is just not wanting to connect on the cell phone. Let me see if I can give it a little extra power on the phone. It has enough power, but just in case, if it needs it, maybe that'll help. So I'm connecting to the charger and see that little extra boost. Might be able to give it a little extra something. Because right now on the computer, I know I can see myself perfectly. I don't know if I can hear me, but I know there's 3 people that it does tell me. That's a good thing. But if you guys are sending me messages, I don't see them. Because the chat window is not really opening up the way it's supposed to. Let me go back to Zoom for a moment. Okay, we are in progress. That's a good thing. Let me see something. If I could, I would put in the invitation, but there we go. Okay. Let's see if I got a chat window going on here. Okay, excellent. Okay. Chat window is working excellent from that end. Going into Facebook, where I am currently right now, talking to you live. Like I said, people, unfortunately, if you are chatting me, I don't see it. Let me try doing the window in another way and seeing if it comes up this way then. Okay, minimize the window. Hopefully, I'm trying to get a chat window to appear. And it's just not showing up. So the methods of knowing whether people are understanding me or they're, writing me to let me know things is just not happening right now. So let's see, hold on. Okay. Let's see with a little more power from the cell phone end if things come up. Let me try another method then. Okay. Cell phone is just not kicking with this either. I don't understand. Very odd. Let me try moving it to another section or direction or so. See if that helps. Okay, hold on. If not, I have one other trick to do. And since this is the time of trick or treat, there's always another way. So what I'm going to do, oh, let's see, something's happening. Hold on. With the cell phone, something seems to want to happen now, because I just want to get verification from you guys. Okay. Let's see. Something's appeared now with my Facebook page on the cell phone. But, it's a little detained, for lack of a better way of saying it. A little sluggish. Trying to connect, but not exactly. Let's kick that out. Try again. Okay. It's buffering for some reason on the cell phone. Let's see. Let's see. Try something else. Okay. Well, little by little, something wants to develop. It's buffering out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart my phone. And hopefully by doing that, that'll kick the system into the most current connection. If for some reason it may be stuck in the old connection. Let me see. I'm seeing something on my page. Has one new message. Okay. Okay. I know someone's written me. Let me see what I can get in a message here. So excuse me while I look away. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Kyla, I'm just looking at your message now. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Okay, so you can. Perfect. So that's a good thing. It's just a little unsettling when I can't see the feedback. You know, normally. So I know you're hearing me and seeing me, so that's a good thing. I'm just answering you, Kyla, okay? So that way you know that I am listening to you. And let's see what else. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Good to know, good to know. All right. The only problem is, Kyla, is that if you type in something, I won't be able to see it on the actual program to address your question or your reading. So let me see. At this point, I'm waiting to see if I can get something on the cell phone to come up, because that will help. Okay. Let me move into that section over here and see now if that makes a difference by rebooting the system here. Okay, let's see. And by getting program up and running on the cell phone, that would be helpful if I can see the chat window. Okay, because then I can see your questions, which right now on the computer where I'm currently at mainly speaking to you, it's not showing. Okay, here we go. Okay, people, I got the cell phone to work now. There we go. Got you. Okay, thank you. And whoops. Here we go. So I'm like, hello, Valerie. Nice to know that you're out there now that I can see you writing in, okay? Because I couldn't see it before. So thank you, ladies, for your patience. And let's see if I can start this program up and running now. For me, you are fine, all of you. It's just me that's having the issue here. So let me see if I can get this up and running. Here we go. Okay, very good. So I've got you here on the cell phone. So let's start with some spot readings. It's 9:30. Good. So we'll do the whole program anyway, now that we are officially up and running, thank goodness. And now that I can see what your questions may be. So You can start typing in your questions and I will address you, properly. So here we go. Delicious. Very, very good. In the meantime, let me see if I can put in a comment myself if it allows it. Now it's buffering in the comments. All right, so if any of you have, questions, concerns for a reading, now's the time to put them in. And I hope that the computer is working right for that. It seems like it is. And let me check my other thing here. Okay. Very good. Good. Always a distraction. Okay. And up we go. Okay. Here I am here. Let me see if I can get into my Facebook page on the computer and I should be able to see myself. Let's see. Okay, excuse us, everyone. The connections are a little bit odd tonight. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get to see all of you out there. And now it's kind of like gone the other way. Okay, here we go. I'm back to you. There's 5 people that I can see. There's 5 people watching. So that's a good thing. If you are typing in your questions, any new questions, let me check somewhere else. Well, this is going to be really special. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, think I got Bonnie. Happy Halloween. Thank you so much for being here, saying hello. So thank you for that one. And here we go. I got a question, number 1. So we're going to address that now for you, Valerie, and hopefully we can get what you need immediately, because I knew there was immediate concern for you. And it relates with other people also. So your financial concerns is not just you alone, because there was getting an essence here of, other people being involved with this and being of need, also. So here is, let's see what we can get for you. I just see a lot of activity and it's kind of busy, first of all. So there's a need, there's an urgency, here. And that's number 1. And so I can see the financial concerns. There's people related. Also, there's a concern with people as well. So the financial concerns can be interrelated or in a way separate from this, because I see urgency with other people and with you too, here, also. So it's like almost like 2 messages in one. And the financial business is something that's at this point just, going to have to get very active and very busy and seeing what you can do to make things, come through for you. So it's just, talking with the right people and, to help you out here financially at this time in regards to resources, managing resources as necessary, finding ways also to get some income coming in, too. I hope it doesn't come to the point where you may have to sell a few things even or offer that up in a way in order to have, some money at your disposal, rapidly, because that's another thing I'm receiving here. So it's a very busy time, for you, and relating with with several people, also an urgency of things, here, for you. And that's what I'm picking up. So let's see. So it's about, finding other methods, first of all, of increasing your finances. So this is consideration for even a second job, a part-time job, not just you, but there's one or two other people that might have to focus in on this too, to pitch in, to help this, get easier, for all of you at this time. So that's what I'm kind of seeing here. The next 2 months especially will be very important, for you in that regard. So that's what I'm seeing right now for you. In addition, I keep seeing other people around you also very busy. There's a lot of movement, a lot of like doing this and doing that and doing that, almost like helping out others and helping, or people helping you too. Also a lot of activity. So there's a lot of busyness in your environment, in your home, especially. This is very close to family, by the way, for you. So there's a lot of people coming in and out, and I hopefully being supportive. Also, I see a lot of movement in the next 2 months. Once again, there's going to be a lot of activity in that way. It's not necessarily a negative, because this is a positive, because it shows that people are helping one another. It is a lot of support and a lot of coming together, which is a positive thing to witness, because perhaps you may not have been so close with others in regards to like communications and this back and forth that I'm seeing here. And this is a coming together of things and support also in ways that hasn't been done in a while. So be aware of that. This looks, very helpful to be ongoing. I see it lasting for several months, even beyond into the new year. So it's going to be a lot of activity and very busy for you for the next, several weeks. But it should turn out, positively in your favor, all of your favors, actually, here. Now, I see that Kyla has typed in something as well. I have to look at the cell phone because I'm not getting it here on the computer. So let's see. For you, Kyla, let's see. Let's tune into you now. As well, because I was focusing on Valerie here. And, oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right. So for you, Kyla, it's, the first thing I'm seeing is related to travel and to a car, automobile, and things there. So there's something related with cars and automobiles and activation there for that. And something about the car and the mechanical side of things, and perhaps repairs or movement there. Again, fortunately, there's nothing critical here or nothing that warrants, big concerns. But I do see things related to a car and perhaps repair, movement, looking after it or so, something new there, connections there, relating to you, relating to someone else that you are close with also. So it relates to a male figure, as I see here, that a younger male closer to your age. So I see a lot of movement there relating with a car, mechanical things, with him, also with you involved, perhaps some repair work there that's needed, and a lot to do and concerns with that, because you're both involved with this somehow, and getting that to run and work. And your father also. as well relates in this here. So he's here as a support or as a help in some way too, and making connections here as well, relating to this for you, okay? So we see that happening. I also see something with travel for you specifically alone. So here's where we see something about you taking a trip in some way, whether it's through a vehicle such as a car or a plane trip or so. For whatever reason, I see movement to the future, because this is all very future oriented with you, with travel and going somewhere and seeing how things work out. They're there for you. So it's kind of like a trip of exploration, of discovery. So that should be coming up in, let's say, towards the first half of the new year. But things are starting to like go into your mind already at this point, for that. So plans, and perhaps, who knows, maybe even a mini trip somehow relating to this, because it relates to future, relates to change, it relates to what you're going to do with your life, where you're heading in your future. And it seems related that it will, looking at not from here, but speculating about somewhere else and trying that out and seeing how that works, seeing how that goes, for you. So there's a lot of movement in that regard, change, new things that you'll learn, new opportunities, work, even seeing that things would open up, to progress, to relate to what ideas that you have for your future, what you'd like to have happening for you 3-5 years down the line, but starting to work on that as of shortly. So that's what that's hitting right there, too. Your father comes in once again here. So he's very helpful, very supportive and instrumental in helping you out, here. Being encouraging, giving advice, helping you all the way in what is it that you're planning to do and where you're choosing, especially, to go, and being supportive in his way, toward you. So that is very good to see and to experience, here for you, okay? And that's interesting also. I see something also relating, not specifically to you, but relating with a child. This could be future oriented as well, very much into the future oriented, but also something that could be current with a new child, and relating to your family and someone or someone close to you in your family, also with a new child, because I literally see the words appearing before me, new child, and oriented again towards a male energy. So either something that's coming up shortly for someone that's close to you, someone that you know very close to you, or also in the future that relates more for you specifically, but more out there in the future. But that's out there too, with children, and somehow working with children in the future in some way too. That's not happening now, by the way. That's more future oriented. I see that way years from now. But things, ideas that are in your head now relating to this in some way that can play out later on, in your future. All right. So I hope that answers your questions relating to, what messages are for you, because I was open, for you. So that is what's come through for you here. Let me go back to the cell phone here and see if I can get the system to update. So if there's any new questions that come in, I can see them, here from anyone out there in the audience this evening. That's the best way I can get at this right now. Okay, let's see. All right, so I have Danielle. Hello, Danielle. Happy Halloween to you. I see your question here. Let's see. Yeah. And yeah, I know that there's been some movement. I think I saw something before on Facebook with you relating to changes and movement and thing. So it's a very active time for you. here, obviously. I didn't know the specifics until you just, pointed out a few things here or so. So it's been, a period of change, and it's been that way a lot. The last few weeks have been a lot about change and transition or so here. And even though it's been October, which is a milder month, astrologically, but still we've had a lot of remnants from the Mercury retrograde still carrying through, for a lot of us. So it's been a bit of an uncomfortable, period, also. So for you here, Danielle, yeah, there's a lot of, it's exciting. I have to tell you this. I know you may not agree with this, but there's a lot of excitement around you. That's for sure. And it has been a big time, of change for you. There's a lot more change coming your way. I must let you know, as well. I'm sorry about the breakup. That's something that, unfortunately, things seem to be going so well for you, and then that kind of just came out, and just almost like abruptly from what I'm seeing here. So that's very uncomfortable to experience, because it was like really seeing that, oh wow, this is going to really work out well and whatever, and then that kind of like a bolt out of the blue almost, because I see a thunder, a lightning bolt, come in, which telling me, wow, that kind of hit, out of nowhere, it seemed, or that a little bit more than what was expected. But here we are, and so it is, a big time of change for you right now. The thing to do is try to be calm as much as you can. Breathe. More is coming your way. It's just a time of change, for you. But at least you're still set and stable where you are, which is a good thing. And right now, about a new relationship or so, that's not even a concern, or shouldn't be a concern, either. Be cautious about things like that. I don't see you really going into a new relationship too soon, even though it's not for lack of a suitor. That is for sure, or suitors, because I see that there very clearly. And I could see a high potential for a new person to want to step into your life relatively soon. And that's very complimentary, but it's not something that should be advised for you to step into at this time period. Right now, it's best for you to stay on your own. Let all of this experience that you're going through settle a bit. Hopefully, you'll listen to that. It's very nice if someone in particular, or a few people may step up, wanting to be, interested in you. That's lovely, because I feel there's one in particular actually already. But the thing to proceed with seeing how this goes and whatever is not the wisest thing at this time. There's too much emotion with you. And if you're wise, like I have a feeling that you are, you'll space out a little bit, give it some time, remain on your own right now, deal with all these other issues here, because there's movement, with other people around you, as you pointed out here, and there's more to come. There's a few other people, there's movement too. It's not that I see any more people getting ill, or certainly not passing away. I know there's another one that's ill from what you stated here. So just keep your eyes on that one, also, because she's going to be in need of support. Okay. Right now, the energies are kind of fragile for people to leave easily. So we want to be there to support this lady, put all the energy to help and to heal, so that we make sure that she responds to that and regains herself. We don't certainly want to have, another person, departing on you at this time. That would be a lot, to have to deal with. So it's about pouring in that energy, getting others to be very much into pouring energy, into this person as well. Besides, I see more changes in people around you also. Not thinking that they're going to get ill or sick or whatever in that way, but there's more movement, there's more change happening there too. So be aware, be alert. So I see a lot of that happening, too. I get the feeling that in relating to work or so, there can be one or two people that might be leaving. So be aware of that, leaving, where you're familiar with. So I get a sense of that, one or two, one male, one female, from there. So because there's so much change happening around you, then we're going to other jobs, other employment, better actually, for both of them, from what I see here. Something that'll just be more lucrative, for both of them, for the male first and the female secondary. They're not leaving immediately, but it will seem that way too, because one will be going one, if it hasn't happened already, and then the next one, a few weeks later or so, will be departing as well. So there's a lot of that of transition around you here. So be mindful, of that. Don't let that rattle you, because there's so much happening with you. For you in particular, just, be steady, be calm. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. I'm going once again here into your relationship issue. Like I said, just, deal with it, accept things. Don't get carried away into a new person or new people wanting to be more interested or taking you out or so, whatever. I mean, it's nice, sure, go out or whatever, but just to enjoy yourself or to get out, but to contemplate a new relationship or so, not yet, much too soon. You're still too disappointed and affected by this that has currently happened. You don't need, to be letting your emotions carry you away. Not until you settle and feel more like yourself once again, and your mind is really here, and you're feeling like Danielle 100% again. Then, and that will take some time, as you know. So then you can, move on and proceed with that, from there. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Okay. And so I hope that addresses your question. If anyone has anything more to say afterward, and there's time, we can certainly go into that. Let's see, Zia, hello, how are you? Good to see that you have some time off for you. I know you've been super busy lately, which is good, but it's paying off, also, because I have a feeling from what I've been seeing a bit here and there from what you've been doing, that's been lucrative, for you. Thank goodness, about time. But you've been, burning the cylinders for sure for that, to make that happen. It was a little bit at the beginning, but now things are starting to see the light. And that's with a lot of your effort, actually. It just took a little bit of a while, a little bit of confidence in yourself, to finally, persist. That's what you needed to do in order to get that running. And you had the patience, and you had the persistence to continue. And now it's starting to show off for you. So congratulations, and more is coming, by the way, for you. I see a lot more happening your way, especially for 2022. The recognition that you deserve after all these years is finally heading your way. I've had a sense of that for a while for you, actually, too. And things are starting to really fall into place where you're going to be better known, for your talent, and for your abilities, and for what you're showing and demonstrating. So more is coming, that way. So good for you. So 222 is going to be a very good year, for you as well. The romantic front, that also looks brighter, and seems to there's some improvement happening for you too. I see a clarity and a positive energy that I'm being presented with. It's more of a feeling more than anything else. So I feel a brightening of that is happening for you, a brightening of things moving in the right direction. It may be still slowly, but it certainly looks more hopeful and brighter for you in regards to relationship concerns, for you. So things seem to be falling a little bit more, coming your way. also there too. For Jade, as you pointed out there, as well, lovely. I'm very glad that things are working out and that she's also, her energy is elevating, also. So that's a good thing. And as I saw that, what I saw was immediately, or I felt, because for you, I'm getting a lot more of empathic impressions more than anything else. It's that is also elevating her energy, too. So she's becoming more, let's say, more expressive, more, more lively, for lack of a better way of saying it, too. So this is very positive. 14, when she reaches 14, and I know that now she's just became 13 not too long ago, but I keep seeing the number 14, 14, 14, and obviously next year she'll be 14. So when she is 14, you're going to see major change, with her becoming more animated, more vocal. She will look more alive to you more than ever, in a new way. Not that she hasn't been in the past, especially because when she was little, smaller, but now in her adolescence, there will be that change, and she'll be brighter and more, I keep saying the word, for some reason I keep feeling tactile, which is really feeling and touching more than anything else. But she'll appear that way more to you too, but more lively, I say more active. Her eyes will be brighter. You will see a shine in her eyes that you haven't seen before, because she'll be more here in a way in this world, and not so much in more of her state of being, which is kind of like dreamy in a way, for lack of a better way of saying it. I mean, that was lovely or so, because I helped her be so sensitive, and she will always be that way too. But she'll be more like lively here, while she's still retaining her self, because that's part of her, that's part of who she is. She'll have her moments as well, but she'll still be more retrospective and be able to be more, seeing, in that way, and being very empathic in that way on her own, which she has always been anyway. And you'll be able to see more of that happening with her. That will be pleasing to you, because that will show you that she's coming out of her shell, number one, for lack of a better way of saying it. And it will show you that you are doing your job well. And that's what I'm being told to tell you. That will show you that you have done your job well, and more to come, because she's still little, honey. She still needs you, and you're still going to be there she's still going to be with you for years to come. So you're still going to be doing your job, but at least you'll be seeing, and you'll make you feel good that you're seeing that you're doing your job well, and your job has been well done, and more to go, there for you. Okay. So I hope that helps with your questions and your answers there. Okay. And let me see, as I'm looking down the pike of the chat, wall here, let's see who else is joining us. And we have a Joanna Walters. Hello, Joanna. There you are. Okay. Nice to see you here. Welcome. I don't believe we've ever seen you here before. So thank you for joining in. And for you, messages that come for you, Joanna Walters. Let me see. Gee, what do I get? Like a foreign flavor for you for some reason. I'm getting a sense of that, number one. So there seems to be an energy or a sense or a feeling here of something foreign associated with you for some reason. So that's a thing. And that's number one. So there's something relating with that, for you. And I'm getting a nice peaceful energy with you, Joanna. I'm going to take off my earring for a moment because it's starting to pinch a bit. So I'm getting a nice, very like peaceful energy, with you, and an inner state of calm, for you. And there's this energy of serenity. And this could be completely off the charts with you, because you could perhaps be like most wild person or whatever, and energetic and bubbly and whatever. But for some reason that comes along as I'm tapping into your energy, this very like serene type of energy. And there's a lot of water associated with you, by the way. So emotions, also, and it flows, with you. So there's a lot of emotionality associated with you. And again, I get this feeling of calm, serenity with you also, at least internally, for sure. So there's an essence there of looking at people and being able to tell who they are just by looking at them. So there is a very highly intuitive, empathic part of you that's like that. I'm also getting a sense of musicality because I suddenly see music or get a sense of music with you as well. So I'm just tapping into you for some reasons. I don't know if you have had a history with as a musician or a singer, or have had relations with, dealing with the music world in some way. But again, and I'm getting it on my left, and for me, left is past. So I'm picking up on that as well too. And I'm scrolling down here to see if you've given response or something, because the only way that I can see by refreshing this, if people are writing in something new. So please bear with me while I look away from the screen here so I can refresh on the cell phone, which is the only way I'm able to see what you guys are typing into the chat window here. And let's see what's new, here. So let me see. Okay. I'm just trying to get more of a connection with you, Joanna. There you are. Okay. Let's see. I'm just seeing if I get more of a response here. No, I just see you, Joanna, here, and that's it. But once again, I'm getting a feeling of something foreign for some reason. So Joanna, if you're not in Europe or whatever, I know you could, well, I know you're here in New York, but I'm getting a feeling of something foreign, European with you for some reason. So there's something tapping in with Europe and some connection there. So I don't know if you're something relating to Europe very strongly with you, but I see a strong connection there with you that's going to be important, for you in relating to work, even relationship, new opportunity, a project opening up. And it's a lot to do with Europe for some reason. So I'm seeing that tapping in. So we're seeing something in the areas of England, France, Italy. Moving up, I'm seeing the Netherlands. Also the Netherlands and Denmark region for some reason are kicking in here too. So I see a lot of that in that area or so, in that region, happening there. I suddenly am seeing Ireland here for some reason, even though it's an island, which is off of the continent. But for some reason, Ireland is picked up. So there's a connection with you with Ireland as well in some way. So strong European feeling for you, here too. So I'm picking up on this. If you can give me a response here in the chat window to see if that relates to you in any way, that would be very helpful as a confirmation for me and to see what's going on there. Here too. And Danielle, I'm just scrolling. I see your first question about loved ones. Well, we see, about your aunt or so she's going to need a support once again. I'm sorry about your other aunt passing, also. But she should be all right. Too soon to tell at this point. I can't pick up anything else unless something else comes through in the course of the evening. So we'll see, there. Let's see. Not interesting. Kyla, you come in as well with an aunt who passed away also. And let me see. Right now, not getting too much on that for you, Kyla. I'm relating to that. Like I said, let's hope that something comes through later on in some way for you. Even though I'm getting a feeling that with this person, things are stronger and more stabilized here, for instance. And there's more stability there. This was someone who was had a strong sense, very strong will, a very stubborn person when she was here on earth. Again, against a heaviness there, but like more doing with strength and was stubborn, and but a good person, but strong and strength there, whatever. And this transition here for her in a way was kind of like fast. She could have been a little bit, but I just get the feeling that she went fast. And see, it says that is well, and will adjust well, because this is the type of person that she was when she was here. She accepted things as they are. And I see a lot of strength there or so there. And because of that mindset, that it says clarity of mind or whatever, she will adjust well, on the other side because of that too. So have no concern or fear, okay, in regards to that. So let's see what else comes up there, too. Let's see, I'm just scrolling here to see what else is happening for you guys here. Okay, let's see. Is there any more questions here? Joanna, if you're still here listening, and I hope you heard the message, I hope you can type in something to let me know. I don't see anything else at the moment. Let me just pop in here to get something else going on here. Okay. 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 Okay, so that didn't relate to you. I got your latest information, Joanna, but be aware, Joanna, that comes through, because that really is the strongest. You're still listening out there. Something related with Europe, we have something related with Europe. So let's see what comes through for you. It may not have made any sense to you right now, but sometimes that's the way it is. This is future oriented or so. Be aware that something along that line may be coming your way then. So keep open, to that, because that is the strongest message and element that I'm receiving before you hear. And sometimes when we're doing readings, I'm telling people things or whatever that don't make sense to them whatsoever, have no relation or seemingly no relation to them whatsoever at this period, whether from the past or now. But then later on, things start happening and things start coming through. And then they let me know later on, that you remember when, you read for me this, whatever amount of time, whatever, such and such and time ago. Well, this happened and this came and this that related to that message, started coming through or started happening. So be open, okay? And be aware that's something that may be coming to you. All right. So with Danielle here. I see. Okay, Danielle, I don't know about that, but relating to that, but that was more for Joanna herself, not because, of family background, etc., there for you. That I can, pretty much tune into there. Let's see. Of course. Okay. Got it, Zia. I'm looking at what you're writing in, Zia. Yeah, I know Pops, I know that Father is interesting right now, to say the least, because, I know that I had a sense, and from seeing him, I've been on the videos, I've seen the change, there. So I know what you're talking about. You're there too. So I know that this is being worked on. And I know that, it's a process, as I've been observing him from time to time. And that this is a process that he's going through. So right now we just have to be patient, because I've been aware of him as I've seen him. And, you know, I've had a connection with him for so many years that gives me a bit of an ability to really be more attuned to him, even though I don't know him personally really, really well, or really just a few times. But because he's been present for me, as he has been for so many years, and because I am attuned and sensitive, I've been able to get a sense of him in a way from a while now, as he's been going through his, let's say, through his journey in the last few months. So that, you know, I've been getting a sense of him, and it's a process that he has to go through, you know, and let's see how it's developing. You know, it's going to take a little bit of a while for things to start to show, you know, the results, but it is a process. So we all have to be patient. I know that Father is not the most patient person for things of this nature. This is kind of new for him. God knows, Nina. I mean, I know him well enough, okay? Believe it or not, you know, to know how he is. And this is not his thing, but he's, you know, he's doing what he needs to do, fortunately. And we're waiting to see, you know, the results, you know, the positive sides of things to look up, you know, for him, okay? And of course, I'm sending him energy for healing, you know, always, you know, and for all of you, you know, as well, as you're all supportive as well, too. And tell Christine not to be such a worrywart, please, okay? Because I know she's like, you know, this rock of the family in a way, but she tends to like keep it inside a lot, inside of herself, okay? And she worries a lot, and more than she may be letting on. And I know that she's, you know, a lot more in there than she shows. So please help her, you know, not to be not so overly worried, Mija, you know, and just give it to higher power, everybody. I'm learning that more and more myself too. No, it's not easy. It's not easy for me either. Give it to higher power, okay? Because Father is supposed to be here for a long time. I've always said that from before. Father is supposed to be here for a long time to come. And this thing came out of nowhere in a way. Even I didn't expect that, you know, to happen myself. So when I learned, you know, a bit that he's like, I was like, oh, that's fascinating. That's not the way I was getting it. And so I know, but I still get a sense that, you know, Father is going to be around, you know, for a while. And I think you call him Pops or Dad. You call him Dad, don't you? I always call him Father. Again, I've known him for so long. I call him Father automatically. You know, that's just my way. And you know, he should be here for a while. You know, for a while, and being just as, you know, vibrant and prolific as he's always been. All right. It's just for this time period, it's just got to take a change, you know, and do what he needs to do to help make sure that he continues, you know, in that way. Okay. And he's got to really stick to it and do what he needs to do. Right now, the times are very sensitive, you know, for people, and illnesses, you know, come out a lot more usually than other times, and they hit us harder than it would be, you know, normally. So whenever something happens to us, we got to be really tight and really focus on what we need to do to take care of ourselves, you know, in the best way possible. Look, I just recently had a little medical thing myself pop out of nowhere, you know, also. I was taken aback, but I also recognized that this time period, we were kind of open to things, number one. And number two, I immediately, because I know what's going on in the atmosphere of the world right now, I zoomed, you know, into medical health right away. And luckily things right away taken care of. So that's, you know, a good thing. And that's what we have to do. As soon as we feel something, no matter what, get the help that you need instantly. Healing, but if you got to go to a doctor, honey, I believe in Eastern and Western medical things as well. I don't do everything healing, you know, through spirit. God put medical things and doctors here for a reason, to help us out. We use it all and we work it all in conjunction to help us get back to our 100% selves. So that's what we need to do more than ever at this time. So be aware of that. So let's see what else. See, anybody else has written anything here? I'm scrolling down once again. Please forgive me if I come out of screen for a bit. But let's see. So this has been quite a Halloween night, hasn't it? Real extravaganza here for us. And let's see if I need to like refresh the page once again to see if anything new has come in. Okay. What's up, Doc? Okay. So I'm just trying to scroll in to what the latest people have written in. So let's see. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. And I'm looking in, scrolling down here to see what we can do here. All right. So far, I don't see anything new, at least not that I'm seeing here. And let me see what's the newest. Let's refresh that system. Okay. Once again, because I know some other questions have come in. It's just that this thing is being a little funny. So it's a little difficult, you know, really keeping focus with questions and things like this when the computer systems or so are not really helping us out the way they should. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Very good. Doing a fast scrolling here. Okay. Here, try something new. All right. Let's bring up all comments then. Okay. Just scrolling once again. See what else is out there. And let's see. Doesn't anything at the moment, but let's see. Someone here before asked about a general question. Let's see, I think for the world. Let me see if I can find that. Any insight? Oh, Danielle, overall 2022 vibe, theme for everyone. Okay. Oh, I got you, Zia. You call him dad. Got it. Okay, good. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you, Zia. He just needs to change, which he needs to change to stay. Yeah, exactly. You know how father is, Niha. Oh God. But it's the way, and I know that he can do it, and I know that he reasons it, that, you know, he's got that mind, you know, and he knows that he has to make some adjustments. He knows that he has to do it if he wants to continue and regain himself beautifully, which I feel that he can. That's the thing. And he may have some doubts right now, and maybe some of you may have some doubts right now, but I don't. It may seem that way, and I can see why. I can see it also, but he can. He just has to adjust a bit and do some things and regain himself. The opportunity is there. It may seem a little small in a way, but it can. As long as things are done and adhered to, whatever, things happen. You can open up and things can come back again. And he has that opportunity for that to happen. So if in some way, if you can let him know that in some way, okay? Because I know he's not open to any of this really either. You would think a mind like his would be open to all these things in a way or so, but I know there's a part of him that's very like, So if you can speak to him in some way that it can relate to make it somehow go into him, and see, that would be the most helpful thing of all. It doesn't matter how it comes or what the person believes or not or whatever at this point, is to get the person to see the light and forget them to accept and to do what they need to do for it to happen. That's the most important thing of all. Never mind about, you know, how, you know, where the message comes from. The thing is that the message is accepted and to be provided in a way that the person will understand it and will finally get it into their mind and accept it. And then do something with that, you know, for the better, you know, for themselves. That's the most important thing of all. And let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Danielle, is yes, I'm going to do a general outlook for 2022. And because I promised that I was going to do divination systems as well, since it's Halloween, let's do that then as well. So what I'm going to do, with that, and I've brought a few things with me here. Sorry if I get out of screen for a moment. But we're going to use my pendulum, for this. So we're going to go into a little bit of energy work using the pendulum. I'm looking at myself on screen to make sure you can see the pendulum. And I have a little bit of a lag into video. So I got to wait for that to appear. And I may have to raise it a little bit higher because I'm not seeing the pendulum all the way yet. But I want all of you out there to see it. There we go. I'm raising it up. Okay. Now I see that you can see it. Good. So let's see about the general questions relating to what's to come for 2022, and even a little bit earlier than that. Lots of things are settling, but lots of things are changing and moving as well too. So take a moment to readjust and to put my energy, my concentration here, and to focus in on questions here for 2022 and bring in those energies here. Okay. So as we know, the pendulum usually works on a question. We go yes and no to make it very simple. And I'm trying to hold it as steady as possible. It's a little hard in this position because it's a little higher than I'm usually accustomed to holding it. But I want you all to see it on screen. So the first question, I'm going to ask the questions because I just can't look at the screen and look at questions. And so I'll be asking the questions here. And they'll be general. So first and foremost, and I'm sure a lot of people have this question on their minds, is about the pandemic, how things will be for 2022. So if it swings sideways, this way, as I'm pointing out, that's a no. If it moves this way or more circular motion or whatever, we'll do that as a yes, okay? So we'll have that way. I'm just trying to steady it. So that's our first question. Let me steady the pendulum. How will things be? Will there be improvement when we no longer have to rely on masks to be in public for 2022? And specifically when? That I'm picking up more on already from my end. But let's see what the first question is here. Will there be improvement? Yes or no? So let's see. As I keep this steady and see, I want to make sure that it's really, really steady here. Let me rest my arm for a moment because I don't want my arm influencing the question. So we'll wait for a moment. And I like to use my right arm for this because that is what I usually use when I do readings with the pendulum in my right hand. Let's give that a moment when I get a little strength, my right arm again and hand, so it doesn't affect the answer. Okay. Settle again, upwards, over, trying to get this into the camera for you. And that's our question. Let's see what happens. Well, so far the pendulum is moving front and back. So that's a yes. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's it. So things will be improving for the pandemic for next year. So that's a good sign. So we'll be better, we'll be healthier, or so for sure. Now, the next portion of that question is what about the mask situation? And that I was getting a sense more than the pendulum that yes, we will not be relying so much on masks, especially beginning the second half of next year. So I got a strong JUL, which is for July. So I got a feeling that for July of 2022, in particular, we'll be able to go out more without our masks and go out publicly, and even to places such as supermarkets and venues that have a lot of people, or accustomed to seeing a lot of restaurants or so, and not have to rely so much on mask wear, because the virus will not be as prevalent, and we'll be able to go out and be out in public, outdoor or indoor, because I do see that outdoor will still exist for outdoor dining still and activities heavily because of this. But we won't have to rely so much on the masks as much as before. So that'll be more relaxed. That'll be better. And people will not be getting sick because they're not wearing a mask when they're in a large group, like we currently are experiencing at this time. So this is very positive change, first of all. So that's very positive to see and to feel. And I get a resounding yes from spirit when it comes to all of this. So especially, and I see JULY, July, we're going to see major improvement in that way in regards to the virus not being as strong as it is in affecting people, and people coming down with it, with so many people, we're going to be able to be out more and not have to rely on so much protection as we are now. I'm getting a sense a lot of that has to do actually because more and more people will be vaccinated by then, and it'll be more in the higher 80s at that point, from what I see, 86 to 88% of population. So that's good because that will help with reducing the spread of this virus. And that will help us regain more of our freedom. It'll be safer for us to be amongst ourselves in larger groups, in venues, in places, not worry about contracting this disease as much as we do now. That's going to be significantly lower. So that's very good to experience and to feel here. So let's wait to see what happens for July of 2022 and see that this prognostication comes through into being. So that's a good sign. And so far, as I've said this many times on the program, as I have been, working spiritually on keeping up to date on this virus and everything that it has done, and moving, keeping pace with it or so, and giving my predictions of how things were going. And as a result of that, we saw, as I predicted, at certain time periods, that certain things would come to pass, that certain things would come to be. And as that managed to happen, we saw that indeed it agreed with the predictions that I gave. That indeed this happened at that time, this improvement occurred at this time. In the summer, we would see improvement, that things would be better, relaxed. And we did see that. We had a few kinks along the way, unfortunately, but I also mentioned that as well, where I said, as long as people do what they need to do properly, we shouldn't have a problem. If they're not, well, there's a probability things can also alter or change. And that occurred as well. But the timeframes of things, as I stated, came to pass. So that is spirit, that is not me. That is your spirit providing, and I'm delivering the message. And as they said, that came to be. So as this comes to be from spirit at this time, with this question, that seems to happen also there too. So we'll focus on that one. The next question we're going to talk about here, also, I'm going to take this earring off for a moment because it's starting to pinch on me again. It's nice to look good for the public, but at the same time, she should be comfortable as well. So let's see here. We're going to focus on the economy. in the society, not just in the United States, but for the world, and see how things will go, there for 2022, for us worldwide, so globally. So that will be our next question here. Let me just have the energies of the previous concern. And open up for the next question here. As I ask, for Spirit to provide guidance and some information on what it will be like for finances, for recovery, for how people will be living in the next few months or so. I immediately see things already without the pendulum. I see immediately visions. I see the bull, which is a sign of, financial gain, bully, as they call here in the United States, the bull market. And I see a caricature of a bull with the horns, standing up, running, with strength, running with, with things going better, but being very, very, busy about that, running to the future, doing what needs to be done. So they're working very, very hard on making sure that things work out and improve financially for us in this world. And that's where it's heading right now. It's currently going in that direction. It may not seem that way right now, but it's going to take a while for that to demonstrate itself. So I do see improvement, coming our way. The gas prices are still going to remain high and getting a bit higher, actually, for the next few weeks and the next few months even. So that's to take place. We're not going to see an improvement in relating to gas prices lowering, where it's really like, oh, thank God, that's happening. Not until the spring of 2022. So we'll see a minor drop, let's say starting in April, where it showed that, oh, there's 20 cents less in general throughout the United States. Not so much about the rest of the world, but it'll start here first. The rest of the world will start to trickle down a bit, also there too. So I see that, coming together. I see also the government here in the United States working more harmony. And I say it a little bit with like hardness, because it's almost like it's the way things are going right now, it seems a bit difficult to believe that. But I do see that in the months to come, that there will be a bit more harmony in relating to the parties, agreeing with one another and working towards mutually agreeing with things and making things pass, which will help improve circumstances, here in the United States, and which will, of course, affect the rest of the world, as well, too. So I do see that, manifesting, also here as well. I'm getting a message all of a sudden from past to present about China being a bit of a concern. It's more about interpersonal relationships, if that makes sense. If there's such a thing as interpersonal relationships with government and with politics. But I see that there's a concern there, with them, from here and some of the other countries. And it seems falling in the realm of interpersonal, etc., or whatever. So that's interesting to see. So there will be some rubbing of the edges there, discomforts, going on there, for certain things. And relating again to this virus thing or so, whatever, because they're focusing, on the virus and why it happened, from China. Or so it's like, that isn't as severe as they are speculating about coming from China once again. They want to blame China heavily for this virus, coming out in that way. And as I've said before in the past, it isn't all China. And that continues with that. They're being quiet and being cautious because it could seem that a lot came from there, whatever. And there's something that nobody's talking about. There's something they're not revealing that is not them really, but they're not wanting to express. Also partially because it could cause a lot of negative reactions from other parties outside of China, from other countries, but also because it could blow into something more and make things in a very negative way with other parties that are involved, with this. Because as I've always stated from the start, I've never felt and I've never sensed from spirit that this is all because of China and that this virus was specifically from China. And I still stay with that. This virus is not all from China, unfortunately. There are other extraneous factors relating to this here that unfortunately use China to a degree for this to happen. And that still remains, and that is still relevant, and that is still, what spirit provides, just for you to be aware of, for you to know. So be aware of that. But specifically using the pendulum here, let's go into finances and ask the question, will finances improve in general in the world for 2022? So that'll be a yes, going back and forth, and a no if it goes sideways. And we have to keep it simple because of the, because of the programming here, and because we're in video, whatever. And we can't ask such deep, detailed questions. So let's see what happens. So there's our question. And let's see what happens here. Well, people, the sense is here that the economy and finances are not really going to improve as well as we would like. Because the pendulum is giving me that showing of more of a sweeping back and forth like that. And as I'm talking, of course, it affects the movement here. But the silence there and that movement, it might be still and allowing just the energy to do what it needed to do. Related more with, don't expect too much in regards to major improvement financially in 2022. That's going to take a while for it to show eventually. They're working on it a great deal, but to see major improvement, as we're all hoping for the better, let's just say that 2022 doesn't show much of that. There. So we're going to have to be a little bit financially restrained. Bear with it. Things may not be as bad or get as bad as it seems, but we're not going to see a lot of things happening in a more positive way or moving in a more positive direction. We see bigger drops, in prices and things happening too soon. What I do get a sense and a feeling of is that in regards to goods, being, coming out again, and we're going to have more access to things, and goods are coming into the stores once again, that will be improving. That aspect of things, yes. So what is that they're working on? They get those barges finally to come in and to bring, their materials and their goods is going to start to happen. It's going to start to manifest. We'll be seeing more on the shelves. Once again, we will not be deprived of things in that way. More people will be working again. We're going to see more activity. More people will be coming to work and coming back to work in the things that are needed in order to have those goods, shipped, transported, Things are going to be happening again. We're going to start to be seeing more of that. So deprivation will not be the big worry or concern. It's just that the pricing will not be so wonderful. That's the thing. We're going to pay more for things, for a lot of things. In some ways, a lot more than we would like. We're going to have to readjust and learn how to do without in some ways, or to be creative and do other things in other ways, or buy things that we're not accustomed to because they're of lower value. And we're going to have to get creative with how we work with those things and how we readjust and how we can make those things work, for us. So be more effort, more creativity from our behalf to do things in a different way, in a better way, or in a way that's similar to what we were accustomed to before. And in a way that's a positive, because it'll make us more inventive. It'll bring out more of that aspect of us, of what we can do, where we became too relying on the comfort of things being so easily given to us or so available to us. Now we're going to go in a way retro to a certain degree and do what our parents or our grandparents, especially, and great-grandparents did long ago, which was to do things in a creative way, make things happen, be more hands-on with things, and do things in a way that we are not accustomed to before, and make it happen, and be perhaps astonished or even very, very happy or pleased with the results of what we do, of what we produce, of what we manage to do, how we manage to live and make things happen. So that will be a payoff, right there. So from the negative, a positive can always come. Always remember that. Always have a positive outlook to things. If it looks negative or whatever, be positive, rework things, and navigate your way in a different way. Do things in an unusual way, even for you, and see what the results are. You may be surprised. You may even like more what you do this way than you did previously. And you'll have more of a sense of accomplishment that you can. And with a little extra effort that you never really perhaps didn't tap into before, incredible things, can be the result. So it's changing our perspective, looking at things in a different way, doing things in a way that, that will make us feel more accomplished, that we have it in us to do more than what we thought we could before. That's the way to look at it right there. So we can look at it there too. Now, coming back to the chat window here, because I've disappeared from here for a bit. Let's see if I can get back into, if there's any other new questions that came up, any new comments that came up as well, because I've been here working with the pendulum here and with my intuition and gotten away from what's here. Let's see in the chat. Let's see. So I'm coming down here, seeing what we're going to do. Gail Collins. Hello, Gail Collins. I hope you're still here. Thank you for joining us. Gail, this is highly spiritual here. Regarding from your niece or so. That's a big energy in a way. As soon as I saw that question, I felt something very attached spiritually, number one, a very youthful energy, number two. A very spiritual energy here associated with this for some reason. And there's a smile coming through and a sense of playful energy, here coming through. I hope you're still on, because I know it was about over 20 minutes that you asked this question. I just got so much into this aspect of things, I didn't see it. A playful energy, new, new energy working here in a new way. New things happening, a new feeling, a new energy. There's a youthful energy here relating to this niece of yours. And a light, a beautiful light, here right behind her, right next to her also. So I'm picking up on that. And a sense of joy, also, and a sense of happiness, here. And that's what I'm picking up for you, Gail. So if you're still on, I hope you're picking up on that and seeing this, because that's what I'm getting a sense of immediately. Something new things here for her, and good, just good. It's just a sense of good here. So I hope that came through for you here. It almost feels like she's on the other side. Look at this. The spirit is so connected in that way. It feels like she's on the other side and doing good and well. I'm seeing from Zia. I know, honey. I don't know Chris, but I do know her as well, because again, I'm so attuned, and I've known Chris a few times, so I know, and I pick up on people's minds, what I do, and so I know her. You know that I know. Yes, okay, very good, Zia. Good. I hope you're still on it, so for sure. Mm-hmm. Got it. We'll talk about that later in person. Yeah, I wouldn't know, because he doesn't want, if you're on Zia, he doesn't want to worry everyone. That's the thing. Family, friends, and you know how loyal he is, also. And if you're listening in, and everyone out there, also, because everyone, so many people know him. So many people know him. He doesn't want to put that on people, as well. It's not him. And I can understand it in a way, from his perspective, because he's so out there, and he doesn't want that to happen and people to be, so we are aware of that. So we know how that is. And let me see, Kyla, anything else? Okay, I don't know if you're still out there, Kyla, if you ask anything else, because it's interesting the way this chat wall works. That messages they're not like coming in order. They're coming sporadically. Like there's new messages interspersed between the older messages. So I have to like decipher, what's new and what's, from before. So the computer, this thing is like super interesting. Puts pressure on. Let's see. Oops, here we go. Okay, let's see. I'm just making sure that I don't miss any newer messages here. Sorry if I look kind of weird on the program right now. Okay, so like I got a new message from Zia interspersed between the old ones. And I mean, everyone's old one, not her old ones, everyone's old ones. Let's see. You're welcome, Kyla, if you're still there. Okay. Try to do some more rapid fire readings for everyone. Okay. As long as I get more messages coming through. Hold on. Let me connect with this once again. Okay. So I can get this going, but something more will pop in. Once again, Kyla, if you're still out there, I feel that your aunt that passed away is all right, okay? That strong energy, came through. And I'm feeling it, I see it again for some reason. For some reason, I see something blue-gray associated with her. I don't know what that means exactly, but blue and gray, for some reason, comes through. So if you're still out here, you see this, if that makes sense, let me know. Because I see that, there too. I'm not seeing any other questions here. It is what, 10:49. We're going to go to 11. Okay, so that will give us a full hour and a half of this evening. So, okay, let's see. Try to see if I can get this going here. Mm-hmm. Anything out here? Anything out here? Okay, it's hard to get feedback because this thing is not really working the way I want it. Let's see. Ah, so frustrating with this thing. Hold on. Wait for buffer again a little bit. Let me come out, come back here, and refresh the system here. And see if that'll work. Here's my comments. My comments page do not want to open up on Facebook. So frustrating. And Facebook on the computer, I mean. Facebook on the cell phone, they're coming up. It would just be more helpful to me if I could get them here on the computer. Let's see. If I see any new question here. If not, we're a bit stuck. But we did do some general questions, for 2022. So we've had to focus on that from the financial reasons, from things with China, as I said, for some reason, also in the economy of the world. I do feel that once again, things in general should, improve. Don't expect miracles happening. I'm asking now for global warming and the climate, because it just hit me, to connect with that aspect of things. And if we're interested in that area or things here, this is purely from spirit. Okay, so this is purely intuition, coming through. And it's about, climate will still be unsettled, so get ready for more. We're going to see some more changes coming into the planet. Get ready. We're going to see some more earthquakes hitting as well. I see it more in the southern regions also. So this doesn't necessarily have to be 2022, but what's coming in the next few years, we're going to see some more climate change hitting the southern portion of the planet, as I'm being shown South America. So let's see what happens there in regards to the climate and the changes there in South America, especially. So I'm seeing things relating to movement there, especially in the lower half of South America. So places like Argentina and Chile, I'm seeing that there. Paraguay, I'm seeing some movement there that they haven't experienced in years. So I'm picking up from there. From the other aspects of the planet or so, yeah, weather, of course, is going to be affected more and more too, in general. We're going to see more from Africa and off the east coast of Africa, as well, where we're going to see some movement there with some climate changes there too that they haven't discussed so much, lately. But we see Eastern Africa, also, so that would be more towards South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, as I see, Swaziland, if it's still known as that region of Africa, Madagascar, which is the island off of 600 something miles off, of East Africa, but was once a part of the continent, there. So we're going to see some major climate issues around that region of the Africa and the coast. I'm moving into the eastern portions of there. For some reason, I see something about Lesotho. Lesotho is a country more towards the inside of Africa, but Lesotho, something there. It's not specifically all about climate, but there's some movement there government-wise or politically also that might be having challenges for the people of that country in particular, which is going to be known. So be aware in the news when you hear sometime in the 2022 or 23 or so about country of Lesotho close by having an issue there too. So be aware of that. So that's what's coming for 2022, also. Jesus, I'm being shown something completely away from climate or so, away from political. I'm being shown something more archaeologically, because there's a lot of archaeological finds like we've never seen before happening. And Spirit has suddenly shown me about a major archaeological finding more towards Upper Africa. And this relates, I know this may sound strange or bizarre, but this relates to Cleopatra. And that big archaeological work that they're doing in regards to finding the tomb of Cleopatra. And I'm being shown that there's going to be a major move there in finding something more about that. I'm not 100% being shown that they're finally going to discover her tomb entirely, but another major move, a major finding indication of something relating to that archaeologically with the tomb of Cleopatra. It'll be a big find or a big step in the right direction that'll be revealed, also there. So that for some reason came through. So be aware of that announcement, coming through in the next few months, or certainly in 2022. Let us hope that it's finally find the tomb of Cleopatra. That would be absolutely incredible, because that's something that they've been wanting for many, many years and would answer so many questions. Not only about, Cleopatra and Mark Antony, but about that time period, about that history of Egypt at that time. And many things, many mysteries will be revealed from what I'm being shown here. And many things will be discovered, there too. And that it will change the outlook and the history of what ancient Egypt was like. And I keep seeing Zahi Hawass. Zahi Hawass is the former, minister of antiquities. And for some reason, he's going to be present for this in some way. He's going to be helpful and instrumental, in this too, as I see that here. For some reason, he's going to be a presence here with this. I know a lot about this stuff, so that's why I can connect with those names, also whatever. But I suddenly see the Z showing up for him. And even though he is not the principal archaeologist working on this project, it is really Dr. Kathleen Martinez who is working, on this, project, and has been for the last 20 years or so. But she is consulted closely with Zahi Hawass. And this will be her breakthrough, her finding. But also Zahi Hawass will be important with this. I see, here with this as well, in relating to this, experience. Let's put it that way, experience. So I see that happening too, here as well. Before we go, let's do one more thing. And I am going to do the cards, actually, because the tarot is always important when it comes to divination and working on matters with the spirit and with prognostications or so. So we're going to do the cards. And let me see if I can get something happening here relating to the wall here. I got a lot of comments that I can see here, but I don't see the new ones, unfortunately. It's so frustrating. So very frustrating. There's probably people here writing here that I can't see. Their questions or so. Because for some reason, this is not moving the way it needs to. Let's see. Okay, you're welcome, Valerie. Let me see if I can get this to move here with newer questions. Or maybe there are no new questions. That's the whole thing. You're welcome, Danielle. Well, that came up new. Okay. Let me see. There's got to be a way to work with this technology, or so that eventually things, work out well with this. Eventually, perhaps when I do get a new computer, and in time, eventually I'm going to need one, because this one's been working wonderfully and well, but newer systems, newer programs take up new memory, new energy, and sometimes the older computers just can't handle it. So perhaps when I do get a new computer, that will resolve these problems in regards to connectivity, with these, programs such as Zoom and Facebook or so, and finally resolve those issues. So hopefully that'll be something there to look at. But in relating here to what we're doing this evening. I've broken out the cards. So we have our tarot here. I hope you can see that. And just before we end, I'm a little over. I do want to do at least one big tarot, here for all of you, with one big question, for us. And not relating to the pandemic or not relating to, financial things or whatever in the world or whatever, but see what comes up, here in general, and see what Spirit provides. And that's the question I'm going to ask Spirit. What can you provide for us in general that we need, first of all, to know about, and that can be helpful for us, and where we can go? How should we view things? How should we view the world? What do we need to know, to experience, to see, how we can help one another, how we can help ourselves in doing what we need to do. So that's the next thing. That's the final question I'm going to ask for this evening, and see what the spirits, my guides who are here with us. By the way, there's a gentleman and a lady who have popped in throughout the course of the evening here for the last several minutes. So I was so involved with this, they joined us from Spirit. I see they're both together. So I do believe they're married, and they're in Spirit, and there's for someone out here. So I'm just not exactly sure who it is, but just to let you know, if you know the gentleman and the lady who are married, who are both now in Spirit, and they seemed to pass very closely, by the way, and I think that's the main significance here. So if any of you out there know of a man and a lady who passed very close to one another, that they're both together, they're both fine, they're both holding hands, and they want to let you know in particular out there that they're fine, that they're well, and they're watching your family. And this is in regard to a particular young lady out there that may know who they are. And just for you to be aware of, and a young lady who I'd say somewhere in her 20s, in her mid to late 20s. So if any of you are out there in your mid to late 20s with dark hair, so I would say 25, 26, 27 specifically, that this relates to you in some way, or that these people passed when you were that age, and they passed together, or rather very closely, one after the other. Let you know that they're both together. They're both watching over all of you, your whole family, and that they're just lovely and wish you well, okay? So if you can send me a message later on where I can get it, where I can see it right here in this very same forum here in the chat window, or if you want to do a private message, that's fine. Just to let me know that relates to you, and then we can move forward from there, okay, further from here if necessary, okay? Okay, but for here, we're going to do a general question of what we need to do, how we need to progress, for our future and for our world, and what we need to do for ourselves, okay? So let's break the cards, the usual, and see what they reveal. Okay. And away we go. Here we go, one after the other. So we have 3 more to do, and that's it. And that'll be it for the evening. So let's continue here and progress here. We just put them into place, and we'll address this question and this concern for all of us here. Okay, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Very good. And here we go. So this is a general, what we need to do, how we need to see things, how we need to perceive things, how we need to look into things. Well, that's fascinating because this one tells all about the future, number one. Nine of Wands, and I hope you can see this clearly. You know, here, Nine of Wands is very future oriented. It is always, and I've said this many times, whenever this particular card comes up, it's always about the unknown and what's heading to the future. And we're looking at it with a sense of hope, with a sense of encouragement, but also with a sense of ambivalence and not being sure what's heading our way. We do have hope for the future, but there's an uncertainty. We certainly know what that is all about. The nine, which is endings and completion, that's what it's all about, heading into the future, the 0 point, but also the wands, which are spirit and energy and activity and strength. That's why the lion and that's why the snake appear also. It's about relying on ourselves, relying on our inner strength mentally and physically. And that's what we have to do in order to get through all of this finally, is rely on ourselves and be the strongest and the best that we can, and be positive. Do not give in to negativity. Do not give up hope ever. That's number one. That's our outlook, what we have to do for ourselves. Remember, 9 is completion and endings, moving into number 1. 10, remove the 0, 1, new beginnings and a fresh start. 2 of Cups comes up next. So this symbol talks about our emotions, where we are right now, but what we need to continue with here. And 2 is very aligned with Jupiter. So it's expansion and growth. And that's what we need to do as well. Emotionally speaking, is to expand, be more aware, be more concerned for global issues, for the world, how we can help one another more and more. It doesn't have to be just personal relationship, especially. It could also be global, but also, you know, our family, our friends, etc. How we can help one another, how we expand, how we do better for ourselves, the relationship with our own self, how we can learn to be more open, more expansive, more giving, more generous. And in so doing that, that affects everyone else around us. And it brings that back to us as well. Jupiter's influence is about expansion, growth, and happiness ultimately. So it's very positive right there once again. What we need to do is, of course, is to focus on what I just said a moment ago, ourselves, contemplate, emotionally, heal ourselves as well too. This relates with the moon, relates with the emotions, but also relates with introspection. Taking our time for ourselves, doing what we need to do to improve our inner life, planning, preparing, focusing on how we can make things better. First, it starts with us, and then that goes forth to the rest for everyone else out there. Next symbol, the 9 of Pentacles. So 9 is an important number because, again, it closes out things, but then leads, you know, for the future. Here is our alignment for where we're heading. This is more material concerns. So here it's about improving our financial circumstances, our material circumstances, our financial gains, or how we can grow, what we need to do, what we have to manifest with things. Things will come our way. Once again, opportunities are open. They're opening up more and more. We have to seize upon them more and more as well as they come to us, or make our own opportunities. Be creative, get out there, do what you've wanted to do more of what you have always wanted to do. Make it happen, make it more lucrative for yourself. Work, projects, don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated by what's happening in the world. Get out there and do. You have to rely on yourself, but things will also come to you as well. So there are opportunities, people in business, you know, there are things that will come and can come your way as long as you're open to it and not frozen in your own manner of being. Do, and things will come to you to improve material gains and concerns. Follow the right path. For our future specifically, there is movement. Once again, 4 is a grounded number, a grounded symbol, such as the Pentacles with the previous card. Pentacles are of the earth, the financial concerns, the material concerns. 4 also goes along that path of the earth, the groundedness. We see the 4 swords. It's the mental aspects of things. It's about improvement, working with one another. It's about becoming more communal with what we do. We're going to come back together more and more once again in working with each other. We're going to be seeing each other more and connecting with ourselves and with our loved ones once again, more and more. Once again, it's starting to happen. We see it happening all the time, and that's going to be on an increase. The world is coming back. This signifies that we have Jupiter once again for the second time appearing, providing expansion, growth, coming together in a newer and better way, a way that is more about, working with one another, getting along with one another better, understanding, accepting things, learning more, being more open to things, finally getting a grasp of different experiences, of the way different people are, starting to be more understanding, more accepting of those things. There's a newer intellect happening in the world. Well, people are starting really to really learn it and really understand what it's like to be different. So that's what's coming, and that's a positive sign there. The things that need to be changed, how we need to work with that. This is a brilliant symbol for that. We have the Prince of Swords. Mental work, once again. The Prince of Swords is a very Aquarian, symbol. Aquarius, innovation, new ways of thinking, technologies, advancement, the future. Things are growing, things are evolving at a more rapid pace, new discoveries, going along with new understanding of things, new learnings, absorbing of information and getting it. So as we think about how we can improve things in our lives, how we can deal with issues and concerns, use this new energy, infuse that in you to have a new view, a new open-mindedness, an expansion of understanding, of comprehension. Even if it feels a little odd or unusual as a beginning, but that's the way to go. Sometimes just because we're starting to see an inkling of something new, whatever, doesn't mean that it is the most comfortable experience to have. It takes time to adjust, to acclimate, to grow accustomed to those new ideas, new experiences, new ways of working. So it is, new things that we have to do in a whole new way. The energy of the world is changing. It is rapidly evolving as we see, we feel it. We see it. People are not the way they used to be, positive and negative. But we have to focus on the positive of how they are now being, not so much on the negative. And the more we focus on the positive, the stronger that will affect us, and the more hold we'll have right there. Moving along with the biggest decision that we need to make, that's not going to be easy. We have a 10 of Wands. Yes, it's a new beginning. This is from the personal to society to global. It's not going to be easy. The biggest thing we have to change is getting rid of the old beliefs, the old fears, the old things that hold us back on all areas of existence here at this time. It is, in a sense, a removal, a purging, a breaking through of fear, not allowing those things that are heavy, negative, etc., get the best of us. Have such a strong influence that it will ultimately destroy us. So we're in a critical period right now here in general. So the thing is to work hard from within, deal Bring it out. Do not give in to fear. Do what you need to do, as difficult, as uncomfortable as it is. It is the only way. It is the only way out of all of this. And this is for everyone. That's what we need to do here. The swords, as we see them here, I mean, it's frightening, but it's not meant to hurt us. It is meant to get us to see what is needed, what has to be done, and to push us forward into going beyond and beyond our fears and doing what we need to do to finally release and make ourselves healthy and well in this world. Now, what's going to help us out the most and who and how? Well, get ready. Another big change. The changes are not going to be easy. This is global. Major is coming. A major change is coming. So get ready for that. So it's approaching. And we're going to have to, we can't be like going back and whimpering like little babies saying, oh no, I can't want to do this, I can't do this or whatever. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be. The tower signifies major change. And that is what's going to help us the most. As I said just a moment ago, because all these cards work in succession, one card relates to the other, and so forth. We have to overcome the negativity. We cannot be defeated by the dark. A major change is still on its way for us. We're undergoing it now. This is going to be our greatest friend, believe it or not. Having to face all of this, having to see what matters, what's important, having to go into ourselves, dig in as deep as we've never before to help extricate ourselves from this difficult position and to come out of it. And to come out of it with victory. And that's what's coming our way, and that's what needs to be done. What follows, let's see what follows, from this, here. We do things correctly and right, and here we are with the sun. Ultimately, the outlook looks new and fresh. It'll be a new world. It'll be a new beginning. We're undergoing that process now. The cards, the tarot is showing that through spirit, where we are heading. The manifestation of a new world is slowly coming upon us. And here we see it. That is what the child signifies. Brand new, a new life. That is what the sky is, new, open. The sun bringing life force, a new day, which is coming, a new existence. And for those of us who do things correctly and are strong enough to withstand all of this and to get through, that is what we're going to experience. It doesn't mean it's going to be super pleasant from the beginning, but we will work towards that and make this new energy our own. And bring that light into the rest of the world. Now, blockages or so, whatever, we see here with strength. So we have the major arcana cards coming up now, which are the tower, the sun, and now strength. Interesting, they come 1, 2, 3. So this is very significant. Always use the 3-time rule. When you see things manifesting 3 times, that means to look and to listen and to take it seriously. Now we have strength. That is what we have to work on here. It holds us back. Strength, which we need to overcome. And that's been a theme here throughout all of this. The lion shows our protection and is before us, but it shows our strength, as what we have to rely on ourselves and others who are out there and make it happen. That is what happens here. We have to rely on our strength and not allow those other ones that are resistant get the best of things either, because there are those out there that are resisting all of this. And the negative element that is in the world, which is so prevalent, has not really gone. It's just been subdued for the time being, but it's still waiting for something negative to happen. And it's hoping for that. And it's still working insidiously on those who are vulnerable, on those who are ignorant, on those who even have power and are corrupt and want to take control for the negative. It's still there, and it uses them as the instruments to try to get its dominance. And the key here is not to give in to that. And for those of us who are not ignorant, who do not work in the corrupt, who do not work in the negative, we have to be strong, and we have to work with one another, not be factioned off into one section, and this one says this one, and this one is this one, even though everyone means well and wants a positive outcome. But if you're going to be divided into this and this belief and that belief and this, and not come together or work properly together, then we're all vulnerable for a negative aspect to come and take over once again. So we have to be on our strength more than ever before for the power of the light to take away the force of the negative, and that will always be. And finally, what outlook do we have? Where are we going for our future? We are looking absolutely towards our future. The King of Swords, and swords have been prominent here this evening. It's all about mind, the light of mind, thinking, working, decisions. And this is all based on this, where we're heading, our decisions, through our communications, through our perspective, but finally our ultimate decisions. And the sword tells us about our choices, our decisions. That's what we're looking at. The King of Swords is very future oriented, always looking out for what's next. The King is strong and powerful, of the mind, always thinking. But this King is associated with the sign of Libra, which is fairness and balance, and looking for peace in all ways and for everyone. The falcon that you see right there staring straight at us, challenging us to see what we need to do, and helping the King keep focus, discipline, steadfastness, the all-seeing mind. And the King looks outward to the future with hope, with fairness, and with balance, that the world is in balance. And that's the perspective and the outlook that we need to have the world in balance, physically, financially, spiritually, in society, and individually. For things to come into the new world with prosperity, hope, strength, light, and ultimately love. And that's where we're heading, right there. As long as we do things correctly and right, the outcome looks like you're going to a very good direction for all of us. And that's what we need to focus on here and keep that going. That the indication from Spirit is that we can head into that light, head into the good, head into all the love, but we have to do the work, and we have to make it happen. And we have to all come together in order for that to be. So that's it right there. So I do hope that you enjoyed this evening. I see this 11:23 went over, but it's Halloween. So this has been our Halloween special for this evening. So I hope that, you enjoyed All Hallows D with D, and that we got through it despite the difficulties, that we faced this evening, but we got through it, and we got some messages across for all of you, and we had some connections for Spirit with some of you out there, and we even did some prognostication as well, using the different systems that we utilize to tap into Spirit for focus and for connection. So I'm very glad that we were able to do all of that. And yes, the unexpected did happen, as I promised, right? It just wasn't the most pleasant, but it did happen, didn't it? But we thank the spirits for coming through this evening as always, for they're the ones who provide the information and the inspiration, and they're the ones who provide what is being seen and what is being given to you this evening. And we thank them, and we wish them peace and balance and love. And I thank all of you for joining me this evening here. And if you have any further questions or want to know more about anything we spoke about this evening, you can certainly message me, on the Angelus Colon Transpsychic Express on this page where this program is presented to you, okay? And it's Halloween tomorrow night, so we will be at the thinnest that the veil, gives us. So lots of things can happen. I know I had a lot of interesting things happen to me, today magically. And, that was, special right there. I'll tell you one very quickly because I know it's getting late, but I was at a store and I was purchasing something. I was at the cashier, and the total came up to, what was it, 10 or 12.26. So I was looking, for my money, from my purse and saying, well, let's see if I do. I know I have a 20 or so, but I don't know if I have a 10 or so. I just have some singles or so. So I was looking through it. So I put my purse down, there in front, of the cashier there. And I was thumbing through the dollar bills and went, oh, look, I found a 10. And there's a 10. And then she said, oh, look. And out from the purse came out a quarter and a penny. They were right there. So I said, isn't that 26 cents? And I looked, I said, oh my goodness, you're right. That's exactly what I needed. 26 cents in order to have 12.26. So I had the $10 bill. I had certainly the $2. There was more money out there. I was going to pay with a $20 bill, but right there next to that, the 26 cents just appeared magically right there. So I was able to give her the exact amount, the 12.26. So it worked out perfectly. And I said, to her, well, that was magical, wasn't it? And she laughed and said, well, it's happy Halloween. So she laughed and we both laughed and smiled, and off we went, so it was just lovely. So spirit works in mysterious ways, as you can see. And it was just purely perfect, for that moment, just when it was needed. So magic happens. Magic is everywhere. And when you least expect it, magic appears. So I'll leave you with that. And again, have a wonderful, happy Halloween weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Get out there, do what you need to do. I'm going to be out there as well, doing things as well also to decorate the house some more too. And God knows what'll happen. I'll posting pictures on Facebook, so we'll all get to see them at once. And just have a wonderful week and bring in the new months of November with a lot of positive energy, a positive outlook, and we'll do another program real soon. And next week, we'll do something else as well, okay? So that should be more back on Friday evenings as usual, and hopefully between 8 or 9, because with the computer, you never know when I'll be on. So, but we will do that for sure. All right, so everybody take care, have fun, and happy Halloween. And don't, frighten too many people out there too much, okay? So trick or treat. Bye-bye. And as I come into Zoom, because I need to get into Zoom, there we go. Good night.